Hi everyone, Anjali here from Climate Emergency Unit. I am in the country pavilion area of the COP where countries set up these colorful displays to give participants a bit of a cultural experience. I don't spend a lot of time here usually because I'm usually in the actual negotiations, so thought I would give it a visit. What happened in week one of the COP? Well, it started off with some pretty unsavory headlines. We had, the president of Azerbaijan calling oil and gas a gift from God. We had the Argentinian country negotiators get ordered to return home after their president, who was a climate denier, had a meeting with Donald Trump. We had Papua New Guinea choose to withdraw from the talks, which was really discouraging, but citing the very valid criticism that the talks haven't delivered much for developing countries, or particularly for small island states, which is unfortunately quite true. We had in terms of the negotiations, it was a mostly technical week. So the discussions were really about the nitty-gritty of implementation of this new finance goal that's being negotiated. This week, those technical negotiations will be kicked up to a more high-level ministerial level, and environment ministers from around the world will be descending on Baku to start the political part of these talks, hopefully leading up to a culmination on Friday that will produce an ambitious new text and an ambitious and equitable new collective goal on climate finance. Now, for context, the current finance goal was established all the way back in 2009, and the goal was for $100 billion to be mobilized by developed countries, including Canada, annually from 2020 to 2025. They missed the deadline for that goal. It was met in 2022. And so there's a failure associated with that. But what we've seen thus far in the week one negotiations is that there is an insistence from developed countries, including Canada, that this should not be framed as a failure, but it should be framed as a success. The fact that they met the goal at all. And so there's this constant tension where Canada and other developed countries are asking to have text removed from draft negotiating text that refers to a shortfall in the goal or to a delay, acknowledging the disappointment of the delay in meeting the goal. And that was quite discouraging to see. The goal of these talks is not to come here and cheer on our governments, especially those in the global north. The goal is to come here and to hold them to account. Now, Canada has a massive climate debt that we owe the rest of the world, and we have fallen behind in our obligations and in our level of ambition, and we've continued to deflect blame for our failures, and that's a hard, cold truth. And the ubiquity of that critique and of that truth, the fact that it gets repeated every year in ever more dire and emotional terms by voices from the global south, does not make that critique any less valid. So that's the reminder that I want us to leave week one with.